Let me tell you how this build is actually getting done, because it's not what most people think. There's no big construction loan. There's no general contractor I'm writing checks to. What there is a deal between two people who actually have something the other one needs. And that deal is moving faster and costing less than anything I could have put together with just money alone. My business partner owns the land. He builds. He knows people. An electrician, someone who can run a well, tradespeople who he's worked with for years who trust him and show up when he calls. What he needed was someone to come in on the infrastructure side, specifically the septic. That's not cheap, and it's not something you skip. So I'm going half on the septic. He's building out the platform for my pack. We're trading value, not dollars. And what we're building together is something neither one of us could have built alone at the same speed, at the same cost, with the same quality of people involved. That's bartering. And before you say that's some old-fashioned idea that doesn't apply in the real world anymore, I want to talk about why it might be the most relevant financial strategy to regular people right now. Here's the reality of where we are in the country right now. Housing costs is at historic highs. Trust me, I know. The average payment on median-priced homes has more than doubled in the last 4 years. Rents in most major metros are consuming 35, 40, sometimes 50% of take-home pay. Credit card debt just hit a record. Savings rates are at historic lows, and wages haven't kept up. You feel it at the grocery store, at the gas station, when you look at your bank account at the end of the month and wonder where it went. The traditional path, save money, borrow money, buy something, equity, repeat, is broken for a significant portion of the population right now. Not forever, maybe. And a lot of people are waiting on the sideline for conditions to change. Watching opportunity pass, feeling like they don't have enough to move. But here's what I've learned. From working in finance for as long as I have, the people who build things in hard markets are really the ones who waited to have enough money. They're the ones who figured out that what they had wasn't money and put that to work. Think about what you actually have. You might have a skill: construction, electrical, plumbing, landscaping, design, marketing, accounting, legal knowledge, cooking, fabricating. Something you can do has real value to someone who can't do it. You might have time, real committed, showing up on Saturday time, especially to someone who's short-handed on a bill. You might have access, know a supplier. You may know a contractor. You know someone who knows someone. In a world where the right connection can save someone $10,000 in 6 months, that access is currency. And you might be like me. You have partial capital, not enough to do the whole thing yourself, but enough to go half on something critical that unlocks the whole project for both people. None of those things are money, but every single one of them can move a bill forward in a way that money alone sometimes can't. Here's what the barter network around this project actually looks like in practice, because I think it's worth making concrete. My partner farms and builds structures. That's his trade. He knows how to frame, how to read a site, how to manage a build from dirt to finished product. That knowledge and that labor has real dollar value. Value I would have had to pay someone else for if he wasn't involved. He knows an electrician, not just a guy, someone he has a relationship with. Someone who shows up, does the work, and doesn't disappear after the deposit. In a labor market where tradespeople are booked 6 months and sometimes longer, that relationship is genuinely hard to put a price on. He knows someone that can run her well. Again, not a referral. A real person in the network who owes a favor or works in the trade or simply operates the way people used to operate before everything became a transaction with the platform fee attached to it. I bring the financial infrastructure. I understand how to structure deals, how to read agreements, how to protect both parties in a partnership arrangement. I bring knowledge of funding, of how capital flows, of what makes a project financially sound over time. And I bring my half of the septic cost, which is real money. It gives a critical piece of infrastructure in the ground that makes a project viable. No single one of us can do this alone at this speed. Together, we're building something real. That's not a feel-good story. That's a functional financial model. There's a reason bartering fell out of fashion, and I want to be straight about it. Cash is more efficient. When everything is priced in dollars, you can compare. You can budget. You can plan. Barter requires relationships, requires a level of communication and alignment that a simple transaction doesn't. It's more complicated in some ways, but complication isn't always the energy. Something that outlasts the project itself partnership with this man isn't just about an RV pad in Georgia. It's about a way of operating. It's about building something together where both people win, where value flows in both directions, where neither partner is just a vendor and neither partner is just a client. That changes the whole thing. And I think a lot of people are hungry for that right now. Not just financially, emotionally. People are tired of everything being transactional, tired of every relationship having a price tag, tired of being a customer everywhere they go and a community member nowhere. Bartering forces you to see what you actually have, and in doing that, forces you to see yourself differently, not as someone who doesn't have enough money to do what they want to do, but as someone with real skills, real relationships, and real value to bring to the table, with the right person sitting across from it. So here's what I'd ask you to actually sit with after this video. What do you have that isn't cash? Not hypothetically, specifically. Write it down if you have to. What skill do you have that someone will pay for? What relationship do you have that gives you access to something hard to find? What labor can you offer? What knowledge? What half of something can you fund that will unlock the whole project for somebody else? And then ask yourself, who in your life is building something? Who has land or trade, plan, but is missing a piece you can provide? Because that conversation, that specific two people looking at a problem conversation is where it starts. Not with the business plan, not with the grand philosophy, with the phone call, with a cup of coffee, with somebody you already know, I need this. And you saying, I have that. And the two of you figuring out what fair looks like. That's how communities used to build things. Before contractors, before every exchange got intermediated by someone taking a percentage. Neighbors built each other's barns, farmers traded harvest labor, tradespeople swapped skills. It wasn't charity and it wasn't naive. It was a rational response to the reality that no single person has everything they need, but a group of people usually does. We're heading back there. Not by choice necessarily, but by necessity. The economy is pushing people towards each other in ways the last 20 years of cheap money and easy credit didn't require. And I think that's actually one of the few genuinely good things happening right now. I'm building a luxury RV retreat in farmland in Georgia. But what I'm really building, what this whole project is teaching me, sometimes the most valuable thing you can invest in is a relationship with someone who builds differently than you do, thinks differently than you do, and has exactly what you don't. That's not a soft idea. That's how things get built when the money gets tight. And the money is tight right now. So let's start looking around at who's in your network, because I promise you, the person who can help move your project forward probably isn't a stranger. There's someone you already know.